All right, so we got some good news on boxing this week. Semi good news. It's about Manny Pacquiao's fight with Jessie Vargas. Again, I told you guys it's not a terrible fight, but I just hate how the narrative when it comes to Manny Pacquiao's career, how the media portrays it is that Manny Pacquiao is always picking the biggest and the most toughest challenges and whatnot. You guys already seen my torch video, but in actuality, it's not the case. I'm not saying Jesse Vargas is a bad fighter. I think he's a pretty decent fighter. I think if you give him a few more fights at the 147-pound division, he might be an elite fighter at that division. But in my opinion, he's still kind of at that prospect stage. So it's just he is by definition a paper champion at this point. He hasn't defended that title. He hasn't. He didn't take that title from someone else that was previously a champion. No, the person that held the belt before Jesse Vargas was Timothy Bradley, and he lost to Timothy Bradley, and pretty thoroughly too. And it's just not the biggest challenge for Manny Pacquiao at this point. However, like I said, Jesse Vargas is not a bad fight. I don't hate him. I like Jesse Vargas as a person. I've seen a few interviews of him, especially on 70 Sports TV. He seems like a nice guy, and I also I liked his performance against Saddam Ali. He was a pretty he was one of those prospects that were really talked about. He was an Olympian, and so yeah, that's just my thoughts. Like I think that my biggest issue when I heard that this fight was going to be made was whether or not this was going to be on pay-per-view or not. Because remember, Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev is also going to be in November, and so two pay-per-views in 1 month. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that being good for HBO and the numbers. I mean, I'm not going to spend that much money on. I'm going to pick one that's going to be Andre Ward, but I can imagine that some people would just buy the Manny Pacquiao fight and then just be like, okay, fuck it on the Ward fight, because Manny Pacquiao, let's be honest, he's still a bigger star at this point, in my opinion. I mean, he can easily do over 300,000 pay-per-view buys, and that's not a bad number. He's not nearly like Floyd Mayweather potential, where Floyd Mayweather can just pick some no name and he'll probably get a shoe in for 500,000 buys. But Manny Pacquiao can still roughly do around 300. He's that kind of a star, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm glad that this is not going. If this is true, because I think it's still a rumor at this point, but if this is true, it's really good that HBO is not going to put this on pay-per-view, because yeah, not only you got the budget cuts. I mean, if you can't even have a fight like well, never mind. Let me not go there. But yeah, Terrence Crawford, not Terrence Crawford. Wow. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I was thinking about Terrence Crawford, but Manny Pacquiao and Jesse Vargas. It's a decent fight. All right, let's not act like Jesse Vargas is a complete bum, because it's not true. He's a good fighter, but is he the fighter that I want to see against Manny Pacquiao at this current time? No, I do not. But again, here's another thing. Okay, um, Manny Pacquiao. What I'm just gonna. This part is gonna be a rant, because again, I like Manny Pacquiao. Don't get me wrong, but the notion that Manny Pacquiao has had, like how people compare Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather, is just ridiculous to me. There are bounds between them. Mayweather is on another level, especially when it comes to not just fighting style, but also in their careers. Okay, when you look at Mayweather, it's always when people criticize him, it's always about this guy needs to fight this best guy, this guy needs to fight this best guy. But when they talk about Manny Pacquiao, it's always about, you're always comparing that to what he's doing. We're pretty much mapping out Manny Pacquiao's career based on what Mayweather is doing, and which is just ridiculous. I mean, you have people like Stephen A. Smith on the First Take saying shit like, "I'm okay with Manny Pacquiao facing Jesse Vargas so long as he's about to fight, because he thinks that he's gonna fight Floyd Mayweather." It's like, Floyd Mayweather would never get that kind of a pass for picking Jesse Vargas type of opponent. And I'm every time, since when it comes to Manny Pacquiao, his name is pretty much synonymous with Floyd Mayweather's name. Every time there's some big media thing, I'm always gonna make a point in my video to make some kind of a comparison, or at least bring up Floyd Mayweather when I'm talking about Manny Pacquiao, because I'm so tired of You know, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, Floyd Mayweather is my favorite fighter. Okay, he is, and he may not be your favorite, but he's my favorite fighter. All right, and don't get me wrong, I respect Manny Pacquiao, but I don't mind having like an honest debate when like you know comparing Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. I don't mind doing that. Okay, and you can't like I just don't understand how someone objective can say that you know there isn't a double standard when it comes to Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. And you know, there's not really a point to this. I'm just kind of rambling at this point, just going off the cuff, off the top. My main point of the video has already been kind of staying in the beginning half of this. You know, talking about how I'm happy that Manny Pacquiao is not going to be fighting on pay-per-view because you know now we can all watch it and not have to worry about paying for Andre Ward afterwards. But yeah, man, I just bottom line is Manny Pacquiao facing Jessie Vargas. Is that the best fight in the world to be made? No, but is it a terrible fight? No. Let's be realistic. It's not bad. Jessie Vargas is not a terrible opponent, and considering that this is going to be on free TV, that makes it an even easier pill to swallow. Who would I have preferred to see Manny Pacquiao fight? Keith Thurman, definitely, hands down. Keith Thurman is definitely the you know, the creme de la creme in the 147-pound division. He probably had, not only does he have the belt, but I actually think he might now have the best resume in the 147-pound division for excluding Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Let me think about that real quick. I mean, Danny Garcia has a really good resume, but he's still kind of unproven against 147-pounders. You know, you can't really, like, we don't know if he can be any elite 147-pounder. I do think that Danny Garcia can definitely, you know, I think he can scrap with the best of them, just because, I mean, you know, say what you want about Danny Garcia, but he does whatever it takes when it comes down to it. And, you know, whether it's getting a knockout, becoming some kind of a boxer, or his father giving one of the judges a hand job, you know, he gets it done. Yeah, but you know, I think that Danny Garcia. I don't think that. I'm pretty sure we can all agree. We can all agree without like without taking a second look that Danny Garcia would not beat Keith Thurman in the 147-pound division. We already seen Keith Thurman and Sean Porter, and the only other person that beat Sean Porter was Kell Brook. But you know, who's Kell Brook fought outside of Sean Porter? Nobody. I mean, he's going to fight Triple G, but I don't think he's going to beat him. And if he doesn't beat him, that doesn't really do much for his career. So yeah, I think that Keith Thurman right now is the hottest 147-pounder. He's probably the best. He has the best resume, and you know, he might even be. I think he's pound for pound worthy at this point. But anyway, these are just some of my thoughts. I would love to see Manny Pacquiao to fight Keith Thurman. That's what I really wanted to see happen. But you know, there's no way that Manny Pacquiao will risk a fight with Keith Thurman at this point of his career. You know that. We all know that. Manny Pacquiao fighting Keith Thurman. Come on now. Come on now. You know, I'm gonna get that Jessie Vargas. Let me get that paper champion. All right, let me cut this video off. Take it easy off.